Don't you love it when people, after they're talking to you for a few minutes and maybe you're asking questions or something, they look at you and they say, well, how stupid do you think I am? And I wish I could whip out a chart that just I don't know, from a scale of 0 to 100 or something, just show them how stupid they're being. And it's taken me a long time to get this way, and you may not even be there yet, because for the longest time we live in a world where we think everybody else is right. Oh, I'm the bad person, I'm messed up, or blah blah blah, right? You grew up in a family where you were always told to be quiet, or you were given smirks, or maybe even you got hit if you said something that wasn't the popular opinion, or didn't go along with the family or go along with the group or anything like that. And hopefully over time, hopefully sooner than later, you can look at other people and just say, you know what you're saying is pretty crazy, dude, or it is downright stupid. I mean, you'll get that a lot in families, right? They're, sitting around a group. It's, Christmas time. You've all unwrapped your presents. Like, hey, we should all go get on a plane and go on a cruise somewhere. And we should do that. It's like, okay, well, let's talk about it. Or no, you should just do that. You should come up with the money and you should figure out how to get there because it's what we have all decided. Okay. It's like, what do we look like? We're stupid. It's a great idea. And you get to a point in your life, you're like, well, how can it be stupid? It's a lot of money. I have to get off work. I have to do all these other things like that. And people are looking like you're the stupid one. Here's another example. You're at work and your boss wants you to do a project, which if you've been on the job for any amount of time and you're getting good at what you do, like, okay, we're going to do this marketing campaign. We're going to do X, Y, and Z and throw out all these emails and make videos and everything like that. And you're like, okay, well, I'm not sure that's the greatest idea. Can we do some research? No, it's a great idea. You know why? Because I thought of it. And, I've been doing this for a long time, so you should listen to what I say. And then you look at them and you're shaking your head. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with you. It really is possible that when other people are pushing up against you or coming down on you, you're not the one with the problem. It is completely plausible that the world around you is plumb crazy and incredibly stupid. I mean, you look around at the world today, you look at the dumb things that people are doing, right? They're, oh, I'm a boy, I'm a girl, I don't know what I am, I don't understand any of this stuff, and they're just, the wokeism, everything like that that's out there, and they want you to conform to their ideas of stupidity. And as I've said before, when you're a Catholic, you realize your dignity. If you really just sit down and understand how God created you from all eternity, He was thinking about you, and plop, there you are. You're in time. Here it is, the 21st century, and you're in the world. So God figured it was a pretty good idea to have you here, okay? But people around you, fallen, broken human beings full of misery, look at you and they question you. They question, they may even question whether you should even be here at all. But their way to do that is to put you down, is to stomp on you. Instead of them looking in the mirror and saying, wow, I got some stuff to work on. This may not be the best idea. This may not be the best way to go. Maybe there's other ways to do this. They simply look at you and say, you must be stupid, or how stupid do you think I am? So I want to encourage you to take a breather, step back, and really, really entertain the possibility, a very good possibility, that you're not the one who's crazy. You're not the one who's stupid. It's the people around you. And I say that with as much charity as I can muster because, like I said, I mean, take the work example. People are telling you what to do. If you've ever been at in an office or a workplace where there's the cheerleader, the boss comes in and throws out some stupid idea that is, it hasn't worked in the past, it's not going to work now. You just know it, okay? And the weird part is almost everybody else knows it too. And what do? You've got the company cheerleader, the office cheerleader comes in and says, yeah, this is great. This is a great idea. Come on, let's do it. Aren't you excited? How come you're not jumping up and down? It's so exciting. And you just want to say because, well, it's a stupid idea. Okay, it's a crazy idea. It's just kind of dumb. Let's sit down and look at this logically. Let's look at this. Well, let's look at some data, whatever you want to do. And and people want to convince you, even though they're the ones with the stupid ideas, the crazy ideas, or the sit down and shut up people. They want you. I was at a job once where it just felt like every other week was like, oh, just sit down and shut up and go along with this. It's like, no. Okay. This is where you get back to your dignity and where you start talking to yourself nicely and say, you know what? All my ideas aren't that great, but I've got some really good ones. And I have a lot to offer to my family, to my work life, to my social life, to all these things. And my ideas are worth listening to. It's a warning sign when people try to shut you down, right? And they tell you you're stupid, or you should just do it this way, or oh, I have all this experience that you don't have, blah 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 blah. And it's a real pet peeve of mine. And I even wrote a story of it somewhere. It's called the Stupidometer 2000, where you actually go up to someone's like a forehead thermometer, those things, but instead it's a stupid meter, right? You put it up to their forehead, and it tells you on a scale of 0 to 100 how stupid they really are. And it's not. Don't reverse roles. Don't go out and say, well, I'm smarter than everybody else and no one knows what they're talking about. That's not the point. The point is to look at other people and don't devalue yourself. Don't let other people stomp on you and walk on you and tell you how smart they are and your ideas are stupid. I remember telling my brother one time, I'd been going to a therapist. I'd been, going there to talk to a therapist about some real serious issues I was having, depression and discouragement, all these, just very horrible things. And I brought it up to him. And I don't even know why. It was almost casual. And again, fair warning, right? There are people you can trust and there's people you can't trust. There's things you can say in trust and confidence to other people, or at least just out of curiosity, that they don't want to hear, okay? And sometimes the only way to figure that out is through, kind of getting beat over the head a few times. But so I brought up how I had, been getting some help. I was doing a lot better. I was really coming along well. And he kind of looked at me and just said, and he kind of, scowled, and he said, oh, my business partner, he did all that stuff too. And, kind of like, oh, he's a loser and, blah, blah, just dismissing the whole thing, right? I was the stupid one. I was the moron. I was the loser. So again, if you are either like a black sheep of your family, or if you're like the lost child, as they call it, the one who's just basically quiet all the time because you don't want to get in trouble, or if you're codependent, right, at the same time you're trying to make everybody happy, you're a people pleaser, this is a horrible trap because other people don't want you to get better. People don't want you to improve. And I've said this before. When you start improving, when you do things where you get better, you're more cheerful, you're smarter, you're braver, you're doing all kind of things, what you're telling other people is like, well, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for you not to succeed or move forward, right? People are very comfortable. They're complacent in where they are. That's why they like making fun of you. That's why they like crapping on you, for lack of a better expression, right? It's much easier for people to step on you and walk on you and say horrible things to you, abandon you, kick you out, whatever, than it is for them to face themselves in the mirror and to look at the changes they have to make. I said another cast, I'm like, people just, they don't want to change. They want you to change because change takes hard work. And it's so ironic because the whole success movement, it's like, well, there's no progress without hard work. Yet I would venture in most everyone, at least I know in my personal experience, people don't want to work. They don't want to get up a few minutes early to, pray or do a meditation, right? They don't, on the spiritual side, they don't, they don't want to study a catechism. They don't want to learn more about their Catholic faith, right? So if you are, they dismiss you. Why? Because then they have to do something. You take away their excuses, and then they have the nerve to look at you and say, well, what are you, stupid? It's like, well, no, I just read in the catechism. I know this stuff. How come you don't know all this stuff? And it's not to be cocky. It's just like, there's certain expectations. Hey, you're Catholic. These are things we believe in, everything. And they won't even make time to study or read their catechism or find out more. Or even more, maybe humiliating for them, is that they could actually learn something from you. And they'll have nothing of it. And especially in a family dynamic, because if your family already looks at you or looks down at you as, well, you're the youngest, you're the third child, middle child, whatever, you don't know anything, how could you possibly know anything, and who do you think you are trying to teach or tell us anything like that, right? Go away, we dismiss you, kind of stuff. It's hilarious because people like you, like me, we're filled with curiosity and awe and wonder and hopefully even playfulness, right? We want to go out there and be childlike. In the scriptures, that the disciples were shooing away the children, and Jesus is like, no, bring them to me. It's the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these. So hopefully there's some encouragement here for you to take a stand, take a deep breath. Look, if you're doing something wrong or you have a wrong idea or it doesn't work out, it's okay to admit it. It's like, hey, I hear what you're saying. Can we try this? And a lot of times these people are going to be like, no, shut up and sit down, right? So you've got to make some decisions if that's the right place for you to work, or if that's your family you have to walk away from. Because if they're constantly putting you down and tearing you down, you don't deserve that. And you don't have to put up with that, okay? I'm very glad you're here on this earth. I'm very glad I'm here on this earth. There are days when you may be sad or discouraged and you're like, trust me, there's dark days, deep sadness, where you question whether you should even be here, whether you question anybody loves you, whether you question where everyone's not just going to throw you out like some old garbage. And I thought of this the other day. And I was telling my wife, I said, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, God is pulling you away from all these people so you don't depend on them, especially if you're codependent. If you're running around, you're a respecter of persons. You want people to like you and you're trying to impress them, and you just, I just want people to like me. I don't want people to dislike me or be mad at me or anything like that. It's what we do. But I told her, I said, you know what? Maybe God just wants to tear you away from all these things of earth, people and things and all that, so that you can wake up each morning and say, you know what? God is my family. This is my family. God is the one I want to please. God is the one I want to glorify. I want to help save souls for Him. And I'll tell you, just try it a few days and just focus on the fact that if your family is really tearing into you, if you go to a family gathering or a get together, just go around family and you walk away and you just feel like garbage. You just feel like the worst. And you're just like, I don't even know what just happened there. Then change your focus. You have God the Father who loves you, okay? Not as an earthly father, and it's not to tear down fathers, right? Is that all fathers, mothers, all of us have our faults and our failings, right? We're not perfect. So look at God as the perfect Father. What would the perfect Father do, right? He would be there for you. He would help you. He would guide you. He would mentor you. He would be compassionate. Look at Jesus Christ our Lord in the Bible, right? He brings compassion. He brings love. He brings forgiveness. Look at our mother, Mary, our mother. I don't even know the word to say. Think of the comfort she brings when you run to her. And when you run to her, she doesn't push you away. She doesn't scold you. She doesn't chastise you. She understands who and what you are. Okay? We are born with original sin. We are struggling against this our entire life. Don't you think God knows that? Don't you think Mary knows that? Of course they do. So maybe part of it is being gentle with yourself and accepting and loving yourself as they do. To look in the mirror and say, man, I love you. I love that guy, that girl. You got to try that. It sounds so weird at first when you do it. But after a while, if you've been part of a family or you've either been told your whole life, or I think as I heard it called kinesthetically, you understand that Your family's not real cool on you. They're putting you down and everything. How great it is to realize the truth. And that is the truth, that you were created by God. You are part of God's family. Embrace that family. Embrace the love. Even if you can't, well, if you're not from that kind of family where you've had that kind of unconditional love, then just imagine what it would be like. Imagine what it would be like to always have your mother there. She's always there waiting for you if you want to come running, if you've had a bad day, if you're crying, if you're hurt, if you're angry, and she just listens to you and she understands and she nods at all the right places. Okay? So understand who your true family is. Understand that you're something incredibly amazing. And I'm saying this to you because I've struggled with this for years. You are an amazing human being. You are a wonderful human being. God loves you as you are. But I got to tell you, He wants you to keep working. He wants you to keep struggling, not because He loves to see you struggle, but because at the end of struggle is the great, the victory, eternal victory. So maybe look at all these other people in your life who are looking down at you, who call you stupid, think you're stupid, are putting you down, and have some compassion there and say, I kind of feel sorry for you. In the past, you may have been just, torn to shreds if someone put you down or didn't like you or whatever like that. Turn that around and say, on some level, I feel sorry for you. I want to be, with you. I want to be on this journey with you, but you just keep tearing me down and everything. I know this is the right path. I know where I'm going. And look at other people and they look at you and they say, how stupid do you think I am? It's like, well, if you're not growing and if you're not changing and if you're not working at it, hey, you're 100 out of 100 on the stupid scale. What can I tell you? I still love you, but I'm not going to put up with that. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you black is white and white is black when they're not. So it's a growth process for you, but here's the beauty of working on it is because you overcome all these fears, the sadness, the discouragement, the darkness that you sometimes find yourself in. So what I'm telling you is to please keep working. Don't stop working. Don't stop trying. I mean, think of all the things you're doing now today that if you didn't put in the effort, you wouldn't be where you are. You're not doing what you would be doing. You don't know what you know. So again, keep your stupid chart out, pull out your stupidometer 2000 and turn it around for when people are like, when they're pointing at you, the fingers at you about how stupid you are. Hey man, here's a chart. Now, you can either do something about it or not, but I'm not going to stand here and listen to you tear me down because you're not willing to do the work. So there's something about working hard, making it happen. There's light on the other side of that tunnel, right? There's always sunshine behind the clouds. Sorry, I feel like I sound like a fortune cookie. But keep at it. Know that there's always someone here who's on this journey with you. And it's an incredible journey. Some days it feels so painful and so hard. And I encourage you to look into St. Therese of Lisieux for that, the difficult path and how she did it. So with that, keep fighting. We're all in this together. And together we're going to defeat stupid. It's coming from us. All right. God bless.